Congratulations to Saul Canelo Alvarez for becoming a 2-time undisputed champion and defeating William Scull, an undefeated champion. Now, a lot of people did not give William Scull a chance to defeat Canelo Alvarez because William Scull is not very known in the boxing world. And lately, all these fighters have been taking the safety first approach because last night's card in New York City in the middle of Times Square, and not just that, having 3 of the 4 kings fighting back to back against solid fighters, all of these fighters underperformed except for Teofimo Lopez. He's the only one that performed pretty good. Now, the worst fight of the night from the 3 kings was Devin "The Dream" Haney. That fight put me to sleep. He only landed 5 punches more than Shakur Stevenson did against Edwin de los Santos. And the Edwin de los Santos versus Shakur Stevenson fight actually broke records for being the most boring fight ever. And Shakur Stevenson's excuse was that his hand was broken, so he could not really punch Edwin de los Santos like he wanted to. But what was Devin Haney's excuse? Devin Haney kept saying that he was gonna make a statement, but he did not really throw any punches. He only landed 70 punches for the whole fight. And as for Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero did beat Ryan Garcia and dropped him twice. And it seemed that Ryan Garcia was actually trying to beat Rolly, but as soon as he got dropped, he stopped trying. Now, this fight was very boring as well, but nothing was as boring as Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. But I digress from my point. Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull. Now, this fight was very boring as well, and I know Canelo Alvarez got power, but he could not land anything on William Scull. Not because William Scull is a great fighter, because William Scull did not come to win, and he just came in for a paycheck. The William Scull versus Canelo Alvarez fight kind of remind me of the Teofimo versus Jermaine Ortiz fight, as everybody knew that Teofimo kept chasing Jermaine Ortiz, and as soon as Teofimo landed a punch that rocked Jermaine Ortiz, that's when the Jermaine Ortiz started running. And a lot of content creators do hate on Teofimo Lopez, so they say that he lost that fight, but when Jermaine Ortiz was actually running. Teofimo was actually chasing Jermaine Ortiz, and he actually even waved to the fans. What's he doing? He's not trying to fight. And come on, all these content creators, we are not dumb. You just don't like him because all the racist comments he made about the banana and stuff like that. I personally do not think Teofimo Lopez is racist at all. I think he is just avoided, and he is trying to make these fights happen because everybody avoids Teo. But yes, Canelo Alvarez versus William Scull was very similar to Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz, but the difference is Jermaine Ortiz did a lot less work, and Canelo Alvarez was pressing the fight on William Scull, but William Scull just kept going left to right, right to left. But I do believe if William Scull actually engaged with Canelo Alvarez would have TKO or knocked out William Scull. And I believe that's why he avoided Canelo Alvarez so much. Similar to Teofimo Lopez versus Jermaine Ortiz. As soon as Teo catch Jermaine Ortiz with a clean punch, Jermaine Ortiz stopped trying. And I do know William Scull is not very known, but he did impress me with his counterpunch skills. In most cases, every time Canelo Alvarez threw a clean shot and landed, so did William Scull threw one after and landed pretty clean as well. And I know there was not a lot of action in the fight, but it was a pretty close fight to me, even though the punches weren't that many. And William Scull did caught Canelo Alvarez with a lot of clean uppercuts. And I gotta give it to William Scull. He came in prepared. Well, he came in good shape because he kept moving around a lot, but I do think that he did not waste that much energy in punching. He was able to move around a lot. Now, if William Scull went to war with Canelo and traded punches with him, he would have got knocked out or TKO'd. And not just that, the judges actually reflect the fight and gave some rounds to William Scull. I believe one of the cards was 113 and 115, so that's as close as it gets. If it was one more point off, it would have been a draw. And the other 2 judges had it 114, 116, so it was a pretty close fight, but it was just a boring fight. Now, guess who showed up? Terence "Bud" Crawford. He made a face-off with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Now, I am wondering why Terence Crawford wore a very baggy shirt, because Terence Crawford looked like he actually gained some weight. And when I see both of them right next to each other and together, I seen the difference. There is no way Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Yes, Terence Crawford is about the same height as Canelo Alvarez, but when you seen their torsos right next to each other, there is a big difference. For Terence Crawford to go 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, he's gonna have to fight in a way and a style that he is not used to. He's gonna have to become a totally different fighter just to go 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. Now, if he goes toe to toe and he tries to fight Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford is getting knocked the fuck out. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, I actually have him number 3 as a pound for pound best fighter in the world. I have Naoya Inoue and Teofimo Lopez over Terence Bud Crawford. And I know Terence Bud Crawford is very accomplished, but he barely accomplished everything in his last few years. And Teofimo Lopez is like 10 years ahead of Terence Crawford. And it's because Terence Crawford lack of love for the sport. Because a while back, Terence Crawford stated that he did not care about becoming undisputed, and becoming champion is just satisfying. So he would have ended his career just becoming a champion, he would have been cool. If he would have had the hunger to become undisputed early in his career, he probably could have accomplished that because he is a great fighter, but he did not care to do it. Hey, I'm not talking shit, I'm just saying facts. And men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say what I think is gonna happen between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is gonna retire after Canelo Alvarez and taking that $50 million guaranteed purse. And he's gonna fight like Charlo, Jermaine Ortiz, and William Scull. He's not gonna go for the kill. He's gonna go in there just for the paycheck and just to survive for 12 rounds. And I already know Terence Crawford's speech after the post-fight press conference. He is gonna say that he tried to make history, move up and weight 2 weight classes and beat the main guy there and do the impossible. He's gonna say there's weight classes for a reason and I just found out this night. And I also know I am a great fighter and Canelo is a great fighter. I tried to beat him but I just couldn't. And there is no shame to losing to the best. But guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you wanna help out your boy, throw $1 at the Super Things. I gotta roll. Peace.